And to think this might be the last time this season we'll hear that sound. We'll hear that bumper.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. But welcome everyone to No Credentials Required. It's extra special Monday morning edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need to press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly of Sports. My name's Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts. To my right is a man who is one of several million happy Seattle Seahawks fans waking up this morning knowing that their team won the Super Bowl. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. I still, it's weird because you pointed out, Ryan, because after the dust cleared from the party, you chilled a little bit at the house while I got things started, and even you said it. The post game show, because of the Olympic coverage, the post game coverage was very short. So I think it didn't really sink in. I haven't sat and basked in the glory yet of the Seahawks being champions. And I'm trying to tell myself, you got to savor this moment. You got to savor this moment because there's a part of me, I'm not calling anybody out, but I've already received messages from some of my Seahawks Sessions cohorts. Apparently, the potential 9 kickoff opponents have been released for the Seahawks. So one of them asked me, who do they open the season in against next year? And I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about next year right now.
Yeah.
I want to
live for right now.
Yeah. I want to savor this because I've been lucky enough. The Seahawks have been to the Super Bowl 4 times in my lifetime. They lost 2 and they won 2 now. They lost 1 against the Patriots. They lost Super Bowl XL, which was 20 years ago. How is Super Bowl XL 20 years ago? It feels like it feels like yesterday to me sometimes, and I'm still bitter about it. Yes, I still carry a dislike for Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers by proxy because of it. But man, this one felt good, and we all know the significance that it had to Seahawks fans because we know what happened against the Patriots the last time. But Tom Brady wasn't back there this time. The Legion of Boom wasn't out there this time. And Pete Carroll was, he wasn't out there. He wasn't out there. This felt like a decidedly new era for the Seahawks. And I do have to admit,
on that preamble, we'll talk about that more in just a moment. Yeah. I know you want preamble, but we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about the era.
I'm sorry, I got it going.
I know you're a happy man. We gotta let the folks at home or abroad know that we are where to find us. Where to find us, and we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about your fandom, how proud you are of your Seahawks. But before that, I'm sorry to cut you off. We got to tell the folks to follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Just search for No Credentials Required or No Creds REQ. Also, find our other podcasts and written content at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our host, which is Podbean, Freshly Brewed Podcasts. And then hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when the live shows start, when show clips go up, and also when we have general announcements about the show, which I posted last night on our Twitter saying we'll be live at 11 a.m. Well, a little after 11 a.m. Eastern, but we're still here. We still made it. Both of us had the day off. Wisely took the day off from work.
Needed to. I was up till 2 last night.
Oof. All that excitement. It's like Christmas Eve for you. Not for me. I was dead asleep at 2:00 this morning.
Yeah.
On the podcast side, rate, review, comment. A 5-star rating will be helpful. Leave a review where you can on platforms such as our host, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Good Pods. Leave a comment if you're listening on Spotify. Also, you can catch this show later this afternoon on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. Also on the collaborations page with No Credentials Required. Check out our show. Leave a comment there. What was your favorite moment? What was not your favorite moment? Join in the conversation. And also, because we're a live show, usually on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, but we decided to be the first in line at Belly Up Sports to react to the Super Bowl. So we want your live comments. We got comments rolling in already. And Dustin, I know it's Monday morning. It's an unusual time for us to record, but this tune's going to make you feel if you're feeling pretty good right now,
Oh, yeah.
make you feel even better once I play this tune to remind the people to interact with us.
After the Super Bowl, feeling fine. It's Monday morning, but it's still chime time.
All right, yes, it is. Comments rolling in the comments section. Julie from Michigan saying hello, gentlemen. She also says happy for you, Dustin.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
All right, so let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the game part of the game of the Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks are champions once again. They win Super Bowl 60. They trample the New England Patriots, and I mean it. And when I say trample, I mean trample. We'll talk about it why. 13. On the onset, it was a little bit, from what I could see, this was going to be a defensive game. I predicted a rather high. I wouldn't say a rather high score. I said 30-21 was going to be my high score. Was going to be my high score. You had lower score expectations. So did Cole Johnson, our special guest from Saturday. But those expectations of a low-scoring game, they would be fulfilled very, very early.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's become the meme. It's become the meme thanks to your mastermind. But I was nervous, and I was trying to keep it in check because I felt the Seahawks, and there were frustrating moments for me. And hey,
I can tell.
let's say it. Let's say it. Hats off to the Patriots, because that defense came out, and they had the Patriots had elevated their defensive play throughout the playoffs. We talked about it. And earlier they were pressuring Sam Darnold. They were pressuring him. They were all over him. Now he was only sacked once, but a lot of that was, I think, credit to Sam Darnold. He was kind of sneaky in the pocket a few times.
Yes.
But he missed that throw to JSN. He missed it. JSN would have taken it to the house. But you got to take your hats off to the Patriots defense. They got after him, and the play of Christian Gonzalez made a believer out of me last night. I hadn't watched enough Patriot games to know how good. I knew he was good, but he saved a couple of big plays that could have tilted the game for the Seahawks, put it right on his head. But to get back to my point before I ramble too much this episode, the more when it was 3-0, 6-0, 9-0, 12-0, I said the longer that the Seahawks keep putting up field goals, Patriots have a real shot in this game. And I was nervous. I was not comfortable with the lead because the Patriots defense, they were shutting down, and we thought they would do it. We thought they would try to do it, and they did it. They shut down Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, part of it was he did leave the game. He had to go to the blue medical tent. So that's part of it. But they really shut him down and neutralized him. But luckily for the Seahawks, as some of us predicted maybe on this fine program, Kenneth Walker showed up to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And I'll say for me, the ghosts have been busted.
Yes.
I don't have to hear that meme. I don't have to hear that. I don't think Sam Darnold wants to hear that meme anymore. And good for him, because I got sick of hearing about it. Every Jets fan got sick of hearing about it. Every Panthers fan, 49ers, Vikings, and now Seahawks fan were sick of hearing, oh, Sam Darnold, the ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghosts will get him. The ghosts have been busted, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't. Here's the thing: there are people this morning, and I've already seen some of them. On the major sports networks. They're already saying, "Oh, Darnold didn't have a good game. Darnold, this was not like a standout performance." Blah blah blah. Darnold did not turn the ball over at all, and when you see how much he was pressured by that Patriots defense, especially early in the game, he got out of some sticky situations. Did he make a couple of throws into tight windows that I probably wouldn't have? Yes, but I'm not Sam Darnold. And the thing is there another quarterback that you can think of that won 28 games in back-to-back seasons? He took two teams to 14 wins. Two teams. So you can't say, oh, well, they built great teams around him. You can't take it all away from Sam Darnold. It's not all on the quarterback, but it's not, you can't remove all the credit. If you're going to say, okay, well, they didn't win because of Sam Darnold. You also can't take away the fact that they won with Sam Darnold, 2 teams, 14 games in back-to-back seasons with Sam Darnold at the helm. Okay. A lot of that's on Sam. All right. Because he's done it 2 different places. So I will hear none of this Sam Darnold slander right now, Ryan. I know Jets fans have his back. Vikings fans are bitter this morning. I don't blame them. And now Seattle Seahawks, we have his back too. And, it is what it is. Sam Darnold is a key piece. And I hope I don't think the team's going to be using that out clause that's in the contract after 1 year. I think Sam's coming back.
Yeah, they're going to run it back. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to present to you a stat or a tweet that I found overnight or last night while I was getting ready for bed. Actually, I might have seen this at your house, but this is a quirky stat that I had no idea. And I had to do my research. I did my due diligence and did the research.
Yeah.
This was the first time in Super Bowl history, in playoff history, in modern playoff history, in the Super Bowl era, that a team has won a Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl champion to go the entire postseason without committing a turnover. And I did a search. I went through. I did a search. I didn't go through the entirety of the Super Bowls. I'll do it just because I'm a nerd and I want to double check and make sure my stats are right. And I'm pretty sure these stats are right. But this is incredible. This is an incredible run because they had no turnovers committed against the 49ers. No turnovers committed against the Rams. In fact, they won the turnover battle in those 2 games, and they won the turnover battle in this game as well. They forced 3 turnovers, and they turned into 13 points, 2 field goals, and that touchdown, that fumble return touchdown, like taking back the scoop and score in the 4th quarter, which basically said, "Yep, this game's over. This game is fait accompli, game over." And I just was shocked to find that in the Super Bowl era, this was the first time a Super Bowl champion had not committed a turnover in their entire playoff. And granted, it was 3 games, but still, to not commit a turnover in 3 consecutive games on your way to your second franchise Super Bowl, that's a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, you blew my mind when you mentioned that to me in the green room. And sorry if you heard that, everybody. I had to suppress a sneeze because I knew I wasn't getting to the mute button fast enough, and I didn't want to interrupt you talking. But that really, because I told you in the green room when you told me that turnovers were a problem early in the season for the Seahawks. They led the league in turnovers at one point, and everybody knows the 5 interception game from Darnold against the Rams. They had a couple fumbles. So that probably inflated their
sacks.
Yeah, and that probably inflated their numbers a little bit, but they cleaned that up in the second half of the season. So it's surprising that they're the first team to ever do it, to not have a turnover. But with the way that they clean that up at the end of the season, I am not surprised, because that's what started the second half of the season. They didn't turn the ball over. They really cleaned that up and took care of the football. And that was one of the turning points. I really think that loss to the Rams unlocked something in them. As much as a Rams loss could be pivotal, as much as a loss can be pivotal, I think it was to their season. And I am surprised that Cooper Kupp elevated his play. He had himself a game in the Super Bowl. He had 6 catches, I think, for 61 yards. And this is a game where the numbers don't tell the full story. I guess I'm taking us here. We're going to break down the game, Ryan.
Yep. I got stats ready. I got everything ready to go.
Yeah. But this is a game where the numbers don't tell the complete story, because the Patriots actually had more yardage overall and more yards per play than the Seahawks. But a lot of that was in junk time, because I'm going to tell you how many yards the Patriots had in the first half passing. Drake May had 48 yards passing in the first half of that game. They couldn't do anything. Now, I'm not saying the Seahawks were lighting it up, but the Seahawks were able to move down the field and get some field goals. The Patriots could not do anything through the air in the first half, and they couldn't really run either. 48 passing yards. That's how good this Mike Macdonald defense is. And I think the people that are saying, "Oh, this is not a good game. This game, I thought the Patriots, I thought it would be better. I thought it would be better." You haven't watched enough Seahawk football because the defense can do this. It's a different style than the Legion of Boom out there. They don't make as many explosive plays, but what they do is they just stop you. They stop you.
Do.
Sorry.
Julie with the comments coming in saying, I low-key fell asleep midway through the third quarter, but it was certainly a strong defensive battle while I was watching. Yeah, it was defense. It was certainly a defensive game.
Yeah,
because he had nothing but field goals for the Seahawks, and again, give credit where credit's due to the Patriots.
Yeah,
they bent, but they did not break. They did not allow this game to run away from them.
No,
I will give them that much. I will give them credit for that. They need to make the stops. They need to make the stops to prevent the Seahawks from getting in the end zone. Like you mentioned, Christian Gonzalez had a whale of a game. He was definitely their MVP of this game for sure. But let's talk about this game some more. I got my stats in front. I got stats in front of me.
Yeah,
courtesy of ProFootballReference.com. Sam Darnold. Not the sexiest game. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it most of the playoffs. Sam Darnold does not have to have a sexy game. He just needs to not turn the ball over. 19 of 38, 202 yards, and a passing touchdown. Was sacked only once in this game. Only once. That was, I forgot what quarter it was. I'll do double check.
I think it might have been the third quarter. Oh, was it the first? It was a massive loss at one point when Darnold did get sacked. It was I remember that. It was a big loss.
I'm looking for it right now. He was sacked in the second quarter. No, you were right. You were right in the third quarter. The third quarter, because they were pinned deep in their territory after the punt by Bryce Behringer. By the way, 15 combined punts in this game. Not a Super Bowl record. I was not a Super Bowl record. I was mentioning it at your party. I just did a look up because at one point in the first half, it was just punts. It was just possession. There was a yardage battle. And by the way, Michael Dixon should have gotten MVP.
Oh man, he
was special teams MVP aside from Jason Myers, who had 15 points combined.
Yeah.
He was 17 points. I'm sorry, 17. Points.
Apologies.
5 field goals and 2 extra points.
He was, both Myers and Dixon, but Dixon proved why I believe he's the highest paid punter in the NFL. Because Dixon, he's the real deal. He's the real deal, man. I think it's one of those things, right? It's a quote unquote small part of a team, but it's not small if you actually play the game. He was putting the Patriots behind the 8 ball all night, where they had to start in their field position. He had a couple beautiful punts in the fourth quarter. It's just, he's got a booming leg. It's great to watch. It's great to watch. And it's one of those things like, as Yankee fans, Ryan, we took for granted Mariano Rivera coming out of the bullpen for years. We just knew that the 9th inning, it was going to be game over. Even sometimes they'd put him in the 8th, and we're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Mo's going to throw you his cutter, and you're not going to be able to hit it, and that's going to be over. Victory for the Yankees. It's kind of, Dixon punted it within the 10 again. All right. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same outlook, because Seahawks fans, we're used to it now. We're used to Dixon's punts.
Yeah, Dixon is the highest paid punter in the NFL, signed a 4-year, $16.2 million extension in June of 2025. So he's currently earning average annual value about $3.7 million. And he becomes the second native-born Australia to play a part in the victory of a Super Bowl team. Jordan Mailata last year with the Eagles became the first to transitioning to rugby to the NFL. He was born in Australia. and he's of native descent of Australia.
Hmm.
But Michael Dixon is the first to complete the transition from Aussie rules football to the NFL and win a Super Bowl. So congratulations to him. But Michael Dixon played a key part in this game, pinning the opponent deep inside their own territory. Some more stats. Kenneth Walker, MVP of the game. He finished with 27 rushes for 135 yards. No touchdowns, but hey, sometimes you just, again, you don't need to play sexy. You just need to play to win. And that's what a lot of the Seahawks offense did in this game.
Yeah, he had a touchdown that was called back because of a holding call on the O-line. I'm looking at you, Jalen Sundell. No, but yeah, Kenneth Walker, he's another one. If you watched enough Seahawk games towards the end of the season, and if you listen to Kevin, Dan, and I on Seahawks sessions, or myself on this show, because how many times did I say it, Ryan? I was calling out Kenneth Walker early in the season. I'm like, you have more talent than this. How come you're running side to side? You're not getting through the holes. Figure something out. The running game needs to show up. Where's this Kubiak running game? He showed up at the late in the season. He closed out the 49ers game. He was crucial against the Rams in both the win and the loss. He plays the Rams very well. He just had a great end of season run, and he carried it right into the playoffs. I am not surprised that he is the MVP of this game. The thing is, a lot of people are arguing for Myers to be the MVP because he did have a great performance with the points that he scored. As you just broke it down eloquently, 17 points. But the thing is, I think what impacts him is the distance on the field goals. None of the longest one was 41 yards. So it wasn't like he was kicking, a 52-yarder or something like that. So I think if the difficulty, and hey, there is no world where I could kick a 41-yard field goal. Okay, I probably couldn't even do 35 or 30 for that matter. But I feel like if the kicks were a little longer, he had a shot at MVP. But also, I don't think the NFL did. The NFL, the only kicker that I could think of that they would have made MVP would have been like Adam Vinatieri in his Patriot heyday, but I don't think the NFL wants to put kicker MVP of a Super Bowl. So
because there's never been a kicker who has been named MVP. There's never been a punter who's ever been named Super Bowl MVP. There's not been an offensive lineman who's ever been named Super Bowl MVP, which sucks because there's going to be a game in the future or already has been when no team has allowed a sack and an MVP was not going to be an offensive tackle. But let's talk about this more stats here. As you mentioned, Jackson Smith and Jigbo was held pretty well, held up pretty well. He had 4 receptions on 10 targets for only 27 yards. Christian Gonzalez did his job. But the leading receiver was Cooper Kupp, 6 receptions on 12 targets for 61 yards. Defensively, let's talk about this defense. My goodness.
Man,
Julian Love had an interception, a pass defended. Uchenna Nwosu with that scoop and score. That pretty much sealed the game.
Yep.
And Nwosu sealed the game. But this team, we talked about it on Saturday's show. For the Seahawks to win, they had to get at Drake May. And for the Patriots to win, they had to protect Drake May. 6 sacks later, 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half. I thought there would be a 7th, but unfortunately that was called back due to a holding. It was an illegal hints to the face penalty.
Yeah.
So they would have tied the Super Bowl record, held by 4 teams, by the way, of sacks in a game against an opponent. Which it would have been funny if it would have been really funny if the 85 Bears played the Patriots and they sacked both Steve Grogan and Tony Eason 7 times.
Yeah.
It would have been hilarious if the Seahawks had matched that record 40 years later against the Patriots team. Using only one quarterback. But one thing about the Patriots, I will say this, they didn't give up. The game was well out of hand after AJ Barner's touchdown reception. That signified to me that the game was over. this could have been a shutout if it weren't for that damn streaker. And I tell you why.
Right.
After that, because yes, we saw the hubbub on the sideline between Keyshawn Boutte and who was it? Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
Or Job or Jackson or
Josh Job.
Josh Job. I couldn't remember who it was, but it was one of those two. And
it was Kobe, I think.
Okay. You can see the split screen between Vrabel yelling at the referee and Drake May trying to get signals because something was going on in the background where you could hear the crowd going nuts. And I saw the video of it's just a guy shirtless, probably wearing sweatpants, running onto the field.
Yeah.
Of course. And getting tackled by the security who, let's face it, could have played for either team.
Yeah, there was a Patriot, I think, because I saw a video of it after. It was a Patriot that initially like stopped the guy.
Yep.
The security was behind the 8 ball there.
Yeah, but I think I thought to myself, I actually said a tweet. I said, that streaker could just basically sucked all the momentum that the defense had because 2 plays later, the Patriots scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Mac Hollins, your favorite wide receiver,
my
2
vitriol
catches.
Came out for him.
Oh, it did. And he just like last week, just like the week, a couple of games before, back in the conference in the NFC Championship when he got burned by Puka Nacua.
Yes.
Tariq Woolen showed his back of his head again and got burned by Mac of all people, Mac Hollins for a touchdown. And I thought to myself, okay, the defense is the momentum starting to go away because Patriots are starting to they got the ball back after they scored a touchdown. Defense got the ball back and they were driving again. I said to myself, oh man, all that momentum that's taken away because of that stupid streaker. But then Julian Love, interception. They score a field goal afterwards. I think they scored a field goal after that. Let me just double check real quick.
I think you might be right, but and you hit on it, Ryan, because that Julian Love interception, which I did remember. I was thinking of Devin Bush. You are right. Julian Love signed after his time with the Giants. He and Bush signed the same season, so that's why I was thinking that it was after the Steelers. Bush, I don't think he's on the team anymore. I can't remember because the Seahawks and the Dolphins effectively swapped linebackers at one point. But Jordan Love had that interception. I don't know where Drake May was trying to throw that ball. I have no idea because that was really, I mean, Drake May, he only had 48 yards passing in the first half, but for the most part, he didn't make bad decisions with the football either. But I don't know where he was throwing that one.
And I'm correct that Nuwasu had an interception, not a fumble. I apologize. But yes, they did. The Seahawks did score. They did kick a field goal after Love's interception, and then they got the interception, which was scored by Nuwasu, and that's still the game right there. And then the Seahawks, I wouldn't say they let up, but you could tell the game was over. There was no coming back by the Patriots. You could see it on. I was paying attention to social media. I was paying attention to Dave Portnoy and all this smack talk he had all week long.
Yeah.
But now the Patriots, not only are they tied for the most Super Bowl wins, they're also number 1 in Super Bowl losses with 6. So they're 6-6 all time in Super Bowls. But again, give credit where credit's due. And final stats for Drake May. We got 27 of 43 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 6 times. Yeah. Also had 5 rushes for 37 yards. A lot of that rushing came in, I'd say, relatively garbage time.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, I was listening to Seahawks sessions on the way home from getting blood work done, and I already got a nice bruise in my left arm from the needle that gets stuck in me. I have to disagree with your cohort, Dan. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
because he described the first Super Bowl win by the Seahawks as a slow, suffocating death, and this Super Bowl was like putting someone in a corner and beating them with a hammer. I had to disagree. I think that first Super Bowl, that was a quick knockout. That was like,
Yeah.
US in terms of a UFC fight, it was a quick knockout because that game was over at halftime.
Yeah, the Broncos came out in like a Tyson fight in the 90s. They got hit in the mouth and they never recovered because of that. I remember we were waiting for the halftime adjustments, and then that Percy Harvin kickoff return happened, and that was fait accompli. It was done.
Yeah, it was a quick knockout for me. And then this game was more of a slow, methodical. All right, I'm going to put you against the fence. We're going to grind it out for a bit. I'm going to put you on the ground. I'm not going to ground and pound you just yet, but I'm going to lean on you and put all my weight in you and just wear you down. And then I'll go for the knockout blow or I'll put you to sleep. That's what it reminded me of. This game reminded me of just a slow, methodical. All right, I'll pick my spots where I choose. I'll win around here and there, and then I'll get the knockout blow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with your assessment a little more, maybe. I think Dan, Kevin, and I, we were all in just the reaction of the game, and I think we were just kind of shocked. We'll have to see if his thoughts change as he takes more time to think about this game. But for me, I kind of agree with you because I feel like this game it had a different feel to it. It had a different feel to it. I had an analogy in my head and then I lost it. But it definitely had a different feel. That one, the Legion of Boom, I think I might have said it correctly in my earlier assessment. The Legion of Boom could generate more explosive plays. It was more I don't know how to put it. They were suffocating in their own way, but they would cause a lot of turnovers. This current incarnation of the Seahawks defense, they don't really do that. That's not the strong point of their game, but they just don't let you get anywhere. And had it not been for Kenneth Walker's performance, I thought Derek Hall had a chance to be the MVP of this game because he had 2 of the sacks on Drake May. But yeah, this was different, and I was rooting for you, Ryan. I was hoping that your anytime touchdown to Jake Bobo would happen. I wanted it, but man, it was not to be. It was not to be. But the Patriots, hey, hats off to them. You had a great season. Mike Vrabel really turned it around, but you could tell Vrabel was just trying to keep his team in it, and defensively they did. And I do have something to say to the founder of Barstool Sports. If you thought that the Patriots didn't show up to this game, it's because you didn't watch enough Seahawks game this year. This is what the defense has been doing under Mike Macdonald, and this is their game plan now.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say one more thing about this defense and the way that they've been playing the last all postseason. I haven't really caught many Seahawks games. I mean, I'll watch them on Red Zone. Highlights on Red Zone, but I haven't watched the full game. The one thing I've seen from the Seahawks defense, especially up front, like they like to play a lot of guys in coverage. That was McDonald's staple when he was the DC at Baltimore. He likes to get 4 guys up front. He won't do too many exotic blitz packages, although there was a couple that turned into sacks in the Super Bowl. But the majority of the time, and the majority of the time that the Seahawks got to Drake May was with a 4-man front. Yeah. And they didn't have to do anything fancy. They didn't have to do any stunts. Didn't have to do any real trick. Any kind of trickery. It was just a straight strength and just bull rushing the offensive line back into the backfield, and boom, right there. Because I remember that one sack. I forgot who it was, but it was lined up against the center, and the center just got blown up, and the lineman just took him with one hand and got the sack. And I'm trying to remember who it was. wasn't Derek Hall. I think it was Riley. It was Riley Mills.
Okay.
He just bull rushed the center and took Drake May with one hand, and he brought them both down. And that just described this game. It was just lean on the other team's offensive line or defensive line, and just again, just methodically get in their head.
Yeah.
Make them remember, just remind them, okay, this is how it's going to be for the entire game, and then go for a quick knockout blow, and that's game.
Yeah, and that's been their game plan all season, Ryan. Because like you said, I watched more Seahawk games too. But full disclosure, I didn't see every full game from start to finish because I have Red Zone. I did obviously when they are nationally televised, I always see those full games and everything. But you can't quite get a feel. Some of it I had to watch after to kind of fill in the blanks. But it's the same as if, I was trying to pontificate on the Jets, Ryan, from watching on Red Zone. You can't get a full sense of the game until you watch the entire team. But that's McDonald's MO. A lot of time, I would say 80% of the time, they rush 4. That's what they do. And then it makes it all the more impactful, which... Hey, Mike McDonald, thanks for waiting until the Super Bowl to unlock Witherspoon. Send him on the blitz a little more next year, please, because it works.
No, he was saving that just for that game. He's like, I got something for him. Something for Mike Vrabel right here in my back pocket. I'm going to use it.
Oh, man, a little reminiscent of your Ted DiBiase laugh coming out there.
That was more of my evil Mel Blanc laugh from Looney Tunes. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl, the off-field stuff in a moment. But first, we just want to give a shout out and thanks to our affiliate sponsor for this edition of No Credentials Required, and that is Fanatics. Yes, you get your fan gear if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan and looking for some gear to celebrate the championship of the NFL, your second Super Bowl win from Super Bowl 60. Our affiliate link is in the description. You won't get money off unless you find it in another coupon somewhere else. They usually have their own promo codes where you get the reduced shipping and whatnot, but you help our show a little bit more as we are an affiliate with Fanatics. Use our link in the description. It's on the Facebook page. It'll be on the YouTube channel a little bit later, and it'll be in the podcast. Also, it's in our Discord channel too. So if you want to jump on the Discord, discuss sports with us on a semi-regular basis and just here and there, jump in our Discord. That link's also in the description. But get your fan gear for Super Bowl, celebrate the Super Bowl victory. Get your Olympic fan gear because USA men's hockey starts this Wednesday. The U.S. women's hockey team going on full strong. The Olympic teams cleaning up the medals in the medal standings. We got some gold that scored yesterday with the skiing and the team, which I didn't realize there was a team figure skating. Baseball pitchers and catchers report this week. Get your baseball gear, get your NHL gear. NHL's on hiatus. And I guess if you want, get some NBA and WNBA gear at Fanatics. But use our affiliate link in the description on Facebook and on YouTube a little bit later, and on the podcast side. Get your gear there, and you help our show just a little bit more. Fanatics for fans everywhere. All right, Dustin. We're talking about some off-field stuff just to wrap up the show a little bit. It'll be a shorter edition of No Credentials Required, but I'm sure we'll chop it up here and there. Halftime the Super Bowl commercials. Winners and losers, hits and misses. I thought there were more misses than there were hits, but I got a couple in mind that I really enjoyed. But I want to hear from you. Like, what were some of the commercials that kind of stood out to you? And what were some of the commercials that were a little bit more disappointing?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I used the commercials as opportunities to go start cleaning up a little bit or start, I'm the opposite of some people. My sister's firmly in the opposite camp. I think she shows up for the commercials. She was a little under the weather yesterday. I'm not going to call her out, but she rebounded. I'm not using any of your lines on the show, Trey. I'm sorry. She texted me this morning. She said, I hope you use some of my lines. That she was reaching on some of them. But so I didn't see a lot of the commercials, but the one that I did kind of like, they they closed out the loop with that Uber Eats, the Bradley Cooper commercials with Matthew McConaughey. They closed out the loop. I liked that one.
That was fun.
I also did on a more serious note, I was telling my Aunt Barb that the Budweiser horse commercials, sometimes they can get me a little misty-eyed. This one didn't last night, but I thought it was a good commercial. The bird, the horse protecting the baby bird, and then you see it turn into an eagle. I did like that one. That one was good, but for me, I missed the one with the bears. That was my sister's favorite. I don't know if you're going to reference it, Ryan, but I missed a lot of the commercials. So unfortunately, the ones I did see, though, they were kind of a miss. And then what was the one? It went on and on. Oh, it was the Backstreet one and Coinbase. Yeah,
the Coinbase. The karaoke.
Yeah, the Coinbase karaoke. Yeah, and I didn't like that one. But I did like. Again, it wasn't as funny as some of the past years. But Dunkin' Donuts, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it.
Yes, Dunkin'. I'll mention my winners and losers here. All right, so Dunkin' Donuts was a winner. It was a winner because it was. I mean, yes, it's all right. Hear me out here. Yes, there's a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah,
nostalgia bait. I get it, but I'm a sucker for it every time.
Yeah,
I'm always a sucker for nostalgia. But that hit the mark with they had Ben Affleck playing a character. They had
Jennifer Aniston's in there.
Jason Alexander playing the boss. He's wearing a toupee. Alfonso Ribeiro, Jaleel White, Jasmine Guy.
Yeah.
Hasn't aged a bit, by the way. I'm hoping that's just not AI, but she'll look like she aged a bit if that's really her. But then all of a sudden Jennifer Aniston shows up and Tom Brady's in a wig. There's also the let's see, what was it commercial for? I think it was Bosch, Guy Fieri. I'm just a guy.
Oh,
and then
I remember that.
Breaks out into his thing. It's like, and then like the French bullet at the end. I thought you spoke French. Let's see what else. The Uber Eats, the completing the loop throughout the season. Football's not about food. Are you sure about that? You mentioned beef and squash. My favorite two was the Dunkin' Donuts commercial and Budweiser too. Because I'm kind of disappointed in the commercials that now with the age we live in, you see the commercials ahead of time.
Yeah.
On social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. And it's just like, we already know what to expect. It's like nobody was, you want to see surprises. Like that's the thing too, is like, can we keep our commercials till like the day of the game? Like you spend so much money on it. I mean, I remember one of last week's episode of the Rod Pearson show, and shout out to a friend of the show, Rod. We'll get you back on at some point. He was mentioning that his favorite commercial, Super Bowl commercial of all time, is the Master Lock commercial, where they shoot the lock.
I don't know if I remember that one.
You don't remember that one? Okay,
no.
It's stuck in my. I mean, listen, I've been watching Super Bowl for a very long time, and there's some commercials that are memorable. That's a memorable commercial. If I understand, Master Lock took their entire ad budget for that year, and they put in that Super Bowl commercial.
Wow.
And it's still playing like 30 something years later. But yeah, it's the Super Bowl commercial, the Budweiser commercial. I want to see more patriotic commercials because this year is the 250th anniversary of the United States. And I was actually hoping to see more patriotism, and Budweiser nailed it. They always seem to nail it with their commercials, the Clydesdales and the baby bird falling out of the nest, and the Clydesdale protecting it as it's a pony going into gelding, going into full grown Clydesdale adult, and you see the grow wings at the end, and it's a beautiful bald eagle. And the farmer asks the other farmer, "Are you crying?" Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And Julie coming in with the she says, "I like the Lay's commercial. That one was sweet." Yeah, with the retiring farmer telling his daughter, "It's your farm now." And it turns out to be a Lay's commercial, and I mean. Yeah, the commercials that always seem to tug at the heartstrings are always the ones that are most memorable.
Yeah.
The last couple of Super Bowls, I don't know what it is. It's just they don't have them anymore.
No,
I don't know if it's because ad agencies are lazy or they're kind of leaning against the funny. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an old crank. I don't know.
No, well, and I think you hit a few things on the head. One, they get leaked before the game now, or like people will be like, "Oh, watch the debut of our Super Bowl commercial like a week before the Super Bowl," and it kind of takes the legs out of it. But also, it is just. And I'm going on a little bit of an aside here, but I think the tenure of changes, because you used to get funny commercials not that often. The Super Bowl was the breeding ground for funny commercials. They kind of saved it. But now with the advent of the Geico Gecko and the Cavemen and they kind of intersperse those throughout the year. Like that's kind of the style now. For some ads, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be a little funny, but it lessens the impact of the Super Bowl commercials because that's a tone that we're already used to seeing throughout the year. So you don't remember as many. And I think sometimes it's just swing and misses. Like I go to the Pringles one, the Sabrina Carpenter with the Pringles, and the only part that got a chuckle out of me was when they were driving in the car and his Pringles were flying out of the back because of his hair. But that was a miss to me. That you're trying to stand on the shoulders of such greats. The most Super Bowl memorable Super Bowl commercials for me, Doritos always used to hit back in the day, and then Terry Tate office linebacker. That's still some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. Oh my goodness! Hey Janice, I always love that.
Why don't you take cover sheet, the GPS, Steve? Oh hey Janice, how you doing? You mother! Yeah, those real commercials always seem to hit. No Doritos commercial this year. Lay's, but Frito Lay's or Pepsi Pepsi owns Frito Lay's.
Yeah.
Put everything in that one or two Lay's commercials that they had, and it's like, oh man, Doritos don't get no love anymore. You know what never gets love? Fritos.
Fritos are a Super Bowl staple. And looking back, I'm kind of disappointed with myself that I didn't have them for the Super Bowl party. Although this is a safe space, you know what happened? I bought a bag for the Super Bowl party, but someone ate the bag before the Super Bowl party. I bought it too early in the week, Ryan.
I must find them.
It
was you, wasn't it?
It was me. It was me. I bought them too early in the week, and I bought them like at the end of the week before, and I'm like, will I have the willpower to make this to the Super Bowl party? I did.
No. No. All right, our last segment, we're gonna talk about this rather briefly, the halftime show.
Yeah.
You had two different halftime shows. Maybe I don't know. Let's talk about it a little bit more. So NBC had the Super Bowl halftime show featuring Bad Bunny, also some guest appearances by Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin, who's looking more and more like Joey Lawrence every day as he gets older. Whoa! On the other side of the aisle, you had Turning Point USA, had their Super Bowl with Kid Rock hosting and a bunch of other artists. Look, I'm going to say this. I've been seeing a lot of fighting on social media. Look, if you enjoyed one Super Bowl halftime show, great. If you enjoyed the other one, also great. I did peek at the Turning Point USA halftime show on my device. Like I said I would, just to see what's going on. And it was fine. It was fine. I mean, and yes, I will say this too. The Bad Bunny Super Bowl commercial was the Super Bowl halftime show was also fine. Cake was served. That being said, if you're in the comments section after this show, if you watch it on replay, and you're saying, "Oh, Bad Bunny had a great performance," without looking them up, name 3 of his songs, please. I would like to know. But look, it was a good halftime show. Good music was had all around, both on the YouTubes and on national television and international television. If you enjoyed one, if you enjoyed the other, good for you. Great. Stop hating each other. Let's just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Dustin?
Yeah, I enjoyed the Bad Bunny halftime show, and you're right, Ryan. I didn't really know a lot of Bad Bunny's music at all, but I'll tell you, I've always enjoyed the Latin beats, some of the instrumentation. So I could enjoy the music even though I did not understand a lot of the lyrics. I took some high school Spanish, but it's been a long time, my friends. But the thing is, I really liked the set design. I thought it was very, very cool. The fields that they had there, and then they had the electrical poles, and then they had that one stretch that looked like a street party. I saw online, I don't know if it's true, but apparently the people that acted like they were getting married, they really did get married.
They got married.
The
Who called it?
significance.
Who called it?
Yeah,
This guy
you did. You did. And I enjoyed it. And similar to what you're saying, did I know a lot of Bad Bunny's music? No, but you can understand why the NFL wanted to do this if you take a look at the lens, because outside of the United States, which there are a ton of people that probably love Bad Bunny in the US and also in Puerto Rico, where he is from. He is a huge worldwide star. And I'm not even we're gonna leave the quote unquote political stuff aside here, because I think the reason that the NFL did this is, what have they been trying to do the last few years, Ryan? They're trying to make football a world sport. They're having the games in Germany. They're having the games in London. They're having the games in Brazil. They're having the international games. That carried over to the halftime show for me. And like you said, if you enjoyed one, I did not. I had no desire to watch the Turning Point show because not a lot of things appealed to me over there. I wanted to give the Bad Bunny halftime show a chance. I enjoyed it. That's just me. If you didn't enjoy it, cool. There was a halftime show alternative that you could check out. If you love that, cool. Just listen to the music. And like I said, like you said, Ryan, enjoy the game. And too many people want to be right about one thing or another, and it gets you into trouble. But for one, I enjoyed the Bad Bunny halftime show. And I really like some of the, like I said, the music and the instrumentation and the presentation. I thought it was really well done, and there was significance. I like a little messaging in the halftime show sometimes, so I want to look up and see what some of the things mean, because I like filling in holes where I may be ignorant regarding history of not just the U.S. but other nations as well around the world. So I enjoyed it.
I'm disappointed that none of our prop bets from Saturday rant came through.
I know. Coach McDonald, you're 38 years old. You're one of the youngest coaches to win a Super Bowl. Hats off to you. But could you please have done it for me one more time? Could you just have worked a "we did not care" in there?
Well,
somewhere?
not only that, but no Jake Bobo touchdown.
Yeah, no Jake Bobo touchdown.
No Bad Bunny in a dress like he promised to.
I wanted Bad Bunny in the dress.
Nobody came out of the crowd and speared him. And I didn't notice a whole lot of pearl clutching, at least in our circle. But I mean, like I said, I wanted to check out the Turning Point show just to see who was on there. And again, it was fine. I mean, both halftime shows were fine in my mind. I don't understand. I don't understand why we have to have a fight about a halftime show. But again, I think the NFL should have went with Metallica. My personal opinion. I know where they're going. Let's see what happens for next year's Super Bowl. I don't know who's going to be in mind for next year's, but it's probably going to be the West Coast theme, of course.
Yeah, maybe, because where is next year's Super Bowl, right?
It's in LA at SoFi again.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember Atlanta is the year after, right?
Is the year after. Yep. I'm hoping to be there for Radio Row.
Oh man,
make it a name. Let's make it an aim. Radio Row and Olympics.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Flag football. Actually, I neglected to ask you in our segment about the game. Now I'll kind of fast forward here.
Yeah.
In terms of running it back, do you think the Seahawks have the opportunity next season to run it back?
Okay, here's the thing. I do. I think the defense is good enough to do it, but here's the thing. Here's where my nervousness comes in. Because now you lose Clint Kubiak, which I think is going to be because they have I haven't seen anywhere that it's official yet, but John Schneider he confirmed it in the lead up to the game, like at the beginning of the week. Clint Kubiak is going to coach the Raiders. So Mike McDonald has to find a offensive coordinator. Now Mike McDonald has proved himself as a head coach. I think he will be able to find someone that fits this team and fits what he wants to do. But here's the thing. Clint's going to go after some of the assistants. He's worked well. He's worked well with them. So the coaching staff, you're going to lose some pieces. The other thing, too, what happens to a team when they win the Super Bowl? It's happened with every Super Bowl team. They lose coaches. They lose coordinators because coordinators become headmen somewhere else, whether it's the college game or the pro game. You lose players because you can't always keep everybody. And, I talked about Kenneth Walker. He's played himself into a new deal, in my opinion. So the Seahawks are going to have to open up the wallet to keep him. Now, I think they're 5th in cap space. I'm trying to remember what they have.
They're currently number 5 in cap space. We'll find out if they'll have more or less after the new year begins. And by the way, New England is 12th.
Okay. All right. So I think the Seahawks have the capability to run it back, but I think it's going to be a hard road, and they need to find the correct offensive coordinator. Because I'll be honest with you, we can rewind back in time. When the Seahawks let Ryan Grubb go, I was shocked because I thought the offense was good enough to where Grubb, they got 10 wins in Grubb's first year as OC. They had some growing pains, but now you can see what Mike McDonald wants to do. And he wanted to emphasize the run. That's why they brought Kubiak in. So that, and he said later that Grubb's offense was too spread out, too much out of the shotgun. He didn't want that. He didn't want that for his team. The thing is, though, this league is also a copycat league. Okay, the Seahawks defense is not going to surprise anybody this year. I think you started to see the turnaround under Mike McDonald in his first year, but it wasn't as obvious, unless you watched every game, it wasn't as obvious. This year, the Seahawks, the rest of the league is going to catch up to what Mike McDonald's doing. He's going to have to adapt a little bit, and other teams are going to see this blueprint. And we talked about it already, Ryan. There's a shift happening. If you look close enough, defense is being emphasized throughout the NFL. It's already happening. A few years ago, just in the not too distant past, it was all about offense because of who won Super Bowls. Stafford and the Rams won a Super Bowl with McVay. Obviously, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowls. Offensive-based teams. They had good defenses in KC, but offensive-based teams. Their philosophy was to win with all their offensive weapons. The Eagles last year, it was defense that won them the Super Bowl, but they got there on the strength of their offense. But even the Eagles, they won the games they won on their defensive strength. Look at the teams that made the playoffs. Jags, great defense. They get to the playoffs. Seahawks, great defense. They get to the playoffs. The Rams, underrated defense. They get to the playoffs. There is an emphasis on defense, and there's going to be a lot of teams with improved defenses next year because people are realizing what time it is now.
Yeah, I will say this too, just to kind of get your mind going around this. So, Julie in this comment section saying, still holding out for a Lions Super Bowl in my lifetime. Hey, still holding out for a Jet Super Bowl for mine too. Look, they already won one in Super Bowl 3, but that was only back in Super Bowl 3. And I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye at that point.
Was that 1969?
1969. I think my dad was 16.
Oh,
he was a teenager when the Jets won the Super Bowl, which tells you how long it's been since they won a Super Bowl. I will say this. There's one candidate. I was doing some real-time research while you were vamping.
Yeah.
Former New York Giants interim head coach joined the Lions recently as a quote high-ranking unquote offensive assistant. Mike Kafka. I would look to see if he might be available to join Seattle Seahawks staff as an offensive coordinator with Clint Kubiak going off to Vegas.
Yeah, and the other person, and I've talked about it. The other person that I'm afraid that Kubiak is going to try to lure to Vegas is Jay Harbaugh. I mean, Jay Harbaugh's the transformation of the Seahawks special teams unit cannot be under mentioned. I mean, we got to talk about it. It was amazing. His job on special teams coupled with the Shaheed trade, that's another hinge for the Seahawks season at this point. And the other thing is their schedule. This is what happens when you win the Super Bowl. Their schedule is going to get harder. They're already playing. They're playing the Chargers next year. They're playing the Cowboys next year. They're playing the Chiefs next year. They're playing.
They're playing they're playing the AFC West.
Yeah,
all next year. I got the home away in front of me. They're playing the Cardinals, obviously the NFC West opponents.
Yeah.
Cowboys, the Giants,
the
Chiefs, Chargers, Bears, home against the Patriots. Thursday night. That's gonna be the kickoff game.
Oh,
that's
okay.
That's gonna be the Thursday night kickoff week 1 game.
The Super Bowl rematch. See, we were pontificating, Ryan, because Kevin thinks that they're going to want a lot of eyes on the game. And how do you get eyes on the game? You put them boys out there. You put them boys, and you know they're going to be playing the Blue Star. That was Kevin's idea, and I don't think he's wrong about that. I said out of curiosity's sake, I would like to see them open the season against the new look New York Giants under John Harbaugh.
Well, here are their away opponents. Obviously, they're divisional opponents. Carolina Panthers, again.
Yeah,
Denver,
they're building something.
Denver, the Raiders, Eagles, and Commanders.
Okay.
Those are the away games.
Yeah. Suffice it to say, you look at that schedule. That schedule's harder. Just on first examination, that schedule's harder than the schedule was this year. Although this is the flukiest season in recent NFL memory for me. But you got to figure the Chiefs are going to rebound because Mahomes, he's going to be back out there. There's some tough ones, and Jim Harbaugh's got something going in San Diego or LA. Geez, I keep doing that. And I really like Mike McDonald's going to unlock Justin Herbert or Mike McDaniel. Sorry. He's going to unlock Justin Herbert. I really believe it. So the Seahawks road back is going to be tough. This is why it's so hard to go back-to-back in the NFL, and that's why you got to take your hats off to the Belichick and Brady-led Patriots because they did it so many times.
Yeah. Last question. Look at Julie at the last word in here, asking a question. Is Jay Harbaugh related to any other Harbaughs in the NFL? Yes. Jim is his dad.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if there are any other Harbaughs coaching in the NFL. Those are the only 3: John, Jim, and Jay. Those are the only 3 I could find. I mean, there could be more out there. As far as I know.
Was it Uncle Al that was like incredulous yesterday when I mentioned that? I was like, Jay Harbaugh, special teams. He goes, wait, it's John, Jim, and Jay? It's like, yeah, I think it was Uncle Al that was a little questioning the Harbaugh's taste in names there.
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him to be incredulous. As for me, I think the Seahawks they can definitely run it back if they can make the right hires at OC. I think Kafka could definitely do some special things, and he tried to unlock Jackson Dart this season. Unfortunately, their defense was not up to the task of holding leads. But if he's available, I'm sure John Schneider will be willing to give a compensatory draft pick to the Lions for Mike Kafka's services. I mean, from understand that being an offensive assistant, a high-ranking assistant, I don't know if he's an advisor, so he can leave at any time. I don't know the exact rules around it, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be compensatory picks negotiated in exchange for the services of Mike Kafka. As far as the Patriots go, I think they can certainly run it back. Their schedule will get tougher next year. If I look at the 2026 New England Patriots schedule, England Patriots opponents. So their 2026 opponents are obviously the AFC East opponents. They've also got the Broncos, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Steelers, and the Raiders. And their other opponents, they're at the Bears, at the Lions, at the Chiefs, at the Jaguars, Chargers, and the Seahawks. So their schedule also gets notably tougher. But I still think they're a young team. They've also got some cap space to work with in the offseason. They're currently, I think, 12th or 13th in cap space in the NFL currently. But again, New Year starts in under a month and 3 weeks away from the new year starting for the NFL.
The NFL never stops.
It's crazy. It never stops, and it never will. But in the meantime, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
So if you join us live, thanks for joining us live. If you watch it on replay, thanks for watching on replay. Remember to just like it, share the stream, all that stuff, but also watch on YouTube, on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. It'll also be on our collaborations page on our page, but you can also follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Just search for No Creds. Just search for No Creds REQ or No Credentials Required. You can also check out other podcasts and written content at bellyupsports.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our host Podbean, Freshly Brewed Podcasts. And hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when the show goes live, when there are clips of the show that go up, and when we have general announcements about the show. As far as the show for this Saturday, we'll be on Saturday. We're going to switch our focus in the interim to Olympic men's hockey. The men's hockey tournament starts this Wednesday. The USA, I believe, their first game is going to be against Latvia. I think it's on Wednesday.
Okay.
And their second game is going to be on Valentine's Day. They play Denmark.
Oh,
winner gets Greenland.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
I had to say it. I'm sorry. I had to say it. But we'll be talking about all of Olympic hockey. We're going to try to finalize with our buddy up north, Brent, who is closely watching the Canadian team. I'm going to check out his preview, but I'll certainly talk to him and see if he wants to jump in on coverage. But we'll be switching the interim to Olympic men's hockey. We'll do a special stream on Sunday, the 22nd, after the gold medal game. Hopefully the U.S. is in it.
Yes, hope so. Hope so.
Let's break that curse. Let's break that curse. Last time we had a gold medal win was in 1980. Miracle on Ice team. That's the last time we won the gold medal. Couple silver medals since then. But I guess Bill Guerin, the GM of the team, wanted to run it back with the team. Most of the team from the Four Nations face-off. But we'll see what happens. But join us on Saturday morning, and for next couple weeks, focuses on our Olympic men's hockey. We'll also be reviewing going into the NFL New Year, starting at the beginning of March, free agency, notable releases, all that stuff. And then we're going to kind of slow things down throughout March into April. We're going to start baseball coverage. But we're going to cover one team and one team only, and that is this team.
New York Yankees?
The New York Yankees!
Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Costanza?
Yep. So we're going to be covering the New York Yankees throughout the baseball season, and then we'll do our and again we'll also do our movie review, which is going to be exclusively on our YouTube page this coming August, as we take some time off in August.
Yes.
To recharge, get ready for next NFL season, which is going to be around the corner faster than we think. So
for sure.
But this has been a fun season to cover. It's been drunk. It's been a whirlwind. We've seen a lot of things that have happened that we never expected to happen, but we are at the end of the season and looking forward to the next season. And I'm praying to God that the Jets finally go to the playoffs, but it's not going to happen.
Hey, man, I will be the first. If it happens, I will be cheering, not as hard as you, but I will be cheering very hard, because I want to see it. I want to see it happen for you and other Jets fans in my life, but mostly you. You're the biggest one I know, followed closely by local cred head Scott. And let me just take this quick. I won't make a habit of this. Usually I do my short sign off, the trademark phrase. If you've been watching for a long time, you know what it is. But thank you to everyone that came to my house yesterday. Thank you to Uncle Al, who's in the comments sometimes, Aunt Barb, to bring in the popcorn, bring in some cupcakes. It was nice to have a house full of people again this year. After last year, I was sick and unable to do so. Man, it was just nice. I'll try to figure out seating situation for next year. Maybe I'll get a couple beanbag chairs or something. But shout out to Derek and Katie. I feel like they brought half their house to the Super Bowl. They rescued me with the meat sauce, Ryan. They rescued me with the meat sauce because Hannaford to go. They sold me meat with a sell by date and a use by date that was exactly the same. I said, I'm not going to feed this to other people. I threw it out, and they came through with the Dallas hot wiener sauce. Man, everybody that brought food, Katie, Scott, it was great to see you. It was nice hanging out with Hannah, Pickles. Katie and Scott did a great job on the Strombolis. Ryan, thank you for bringing the boozy blondes. I had one. There's some rum in there. But,
it's definitely that's not rum. That is Irish cream, my friend.
Oh man, okay. I was off
bourbon, specifically bourbon cream.
Oh, okay. You were messing with my taste buds there. But thank you
Surprise,
for coming as always. And man, I just really had a great time hosting yesterday and people helping out. Of course, my sister and my brother-in-law, they helped out as always. And special shout out to the little pickle man. I always love getting to give you a couple pats when you're at the house. So thank you to everybody for showing up. I enjoyed it.
Speaking of thank yous, thank you to everyone who joined us live, who watched on replay, who left a comment, who listened on podcast platform for the 2025 season of the NFL. And we'll be happy to bring you more content in the spring. It'll be sporadic, but we're still going to be here doing some stuff. There'll be some stuff on the YouTube side again, and we're going to be making some sports history related things, kind of drive some more traffic to the old channel. But we'll be bringing more content during the spring. It'll be sporadic, and our movie series again will be back this summer. But we're gonna put it in the can, so we can enjoy some time off in August to get things going. But for the 2026 NFL season. But thank you again. Whether you watch live on replay, thank you for tuning in to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Saturday, all things Olympic hockey. Can't wait to talk about the games and see where things go and root for our boys, the USA, the red, white, and blue. Hopefully they get the gold medal for the 250th anniversary of our nation. But in the meantime, we'll see you Saturday morning. Join us then. We hope you have a great week. Stay warm if you're somewhere cold. Stay warm because it's frosty out there. So we'll see you on Saturday morning. Be here live or on replay. Thanks very much for this season. We'll talk to you Saturday.
Good afternoon, everybody.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.